Hill sponsors Martin vs Joshua on Sky Sports Box Office.
I always felt like a domestic fight would be a lot more interesting. One thing I can say about George is rarely do they turn down an opponent, and when we made the call to David BROPHY's team, they came back almost instantly to take the fight, and I have to give them a huge amount of credit, because many fighters in his position would have been looking for probably an intermediate step before making this big jump. But he's in great shape. We've heard tremendous things from Joe Gallagher's gym. He's been sparring many dozens of rounds with Callum Smith in this camp, and David BROPHY, a huge opportunity for you on Saturday night at the O2 Arena.
Yeah, massive opportunity. As I say, being in Scotland, you know, the opportunities have been given to me. So I jumped at the chance of this. I mean, if you can't get up for a fight on the O2 Arena in this undercard, then you'll never be prepared for anything. So we jumped at the chance. This is a massive opportunity for me. Obviously, getting here as underdog, I don't mind that. My apprenticeship's done in boxing now, so it's time to get into the big fish, and I'm really looking forward to Saturday. I'm ready for Saturday. We never had a lot of time to prepare, but there'll be no windows or draw, there'll be no excuses about preparation time. I wouldn't have took a fight unless I was going to be ready, so I'm ready to go. I'm looking forward to Saturday.
You've boxed at big arenas before, and obviously you boxed on a number of our cards at the Ricky Burns. You boxed in front of 8, 9, 10,000 people, and you don't strike me as the person that's going to be overawed with the situation. How important is it to keep your head, listen to Billy, and execute the game plan on Saturday?
Oh, it's vital. I mean, it's how you take this the arena and with you. I mean, me personally, I think I'll thrive on it. I mean, I think you need to. I think if you get into your shell with the crowd, then it's game over before the first bells went. But these things I thrive on. I mean, I love the fact. I love the thought of this fight Saturday in the arena. I've been to the arena watching Froch and Kessler before, and I can remember I was sitting with Ricky Burns and I said to him, and I says, imagine fighting here. How good would this be? So I mean, it's a dream, but this is. I've only just got the fight, so I've still got a lot of work to do in the fight. I mean, it's a dream come true, especially fighting here, but there's still a lot of work to be done in the fight for me.
How motivating is it finally to know that a win over George Groves on this huge card on Saturday night will basically unlock the key to huge fights on the domestic scene and also at world level as well?
Yeah, the domestic scene in super middleweight is massive now. It's probably the hardest, one of the hardest there is now. So for a win like this on this stage and be noticed, this is the biggest important thing for me. Be noticed, make a good account of myself, get a good win, and it puts me right in the mix for the titles we need to change your life. At the end of the day, I mean, this is a sport, but at the end of the day, you're doing this as a business, and it's these are the kind of fights that can change your life overnight. So I'm taking this fight very seriously. Even nothing else matters to me now apart from this fight and getting a good account of myself and getting a good win.
Thank you, David. And always a pleasure to work at. Welcome Team Salem brothers to these shores. Although you're here and Canada's, I think, in America this week with Arthur Abraham. Pass over to Mr. Salem, say a few words and introduce his Charles George Groves.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be working with Eddie and Sky again. Going back to the O2, I'm sure it brings back a lot of great memories for George. He had a great fight against James McGowl there, and we're looking for more of those nights. I think Saturday is a case of keeping the eye on the prize. David BROPHY is an unknown entity. He's dangerous. He's unbeaten. There's a lot of talk about some big domestic fights, big international fights. Callum Smith, Martin Murray, Badu Jack, Arthur Abraham, Felix Storm, all those people. But we can't look past David BROPHY, and that's a fact. It's tough getting in there with someone you don't really know that much about. He's unbeaten, and he can cause us some trouble. So we just have to keep our eye on the prize.
Thanks, George. Obviously, a big night for you on Saturday night. Like Nisso said, everyone talking about these other fights. You've been in David's situation before. You know what an opportunity this is for him. You know how hungry he'll be on Saturday night.
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. Looking forward to boxing again in London. the O2 Arena. I've seen this piece of David Murphy seems like a good fighter, nice guy. We've prepared really well. Feel that made some big improvements and looking forward to displaying them on Saturday night. So very good week.
Under the tutelage of Shane McGuigan here as well today for questions for you after. Looked really sharp on the workout, punching hard. Is that a plan? Is that a strategy?
I was going half pace because I was watching Shannon Briggs, to be honest. There's been some improvements, feeling good, feeling sharp. Looking forward to fight, really. I wanted to be busy this year, and because I want to fight. I want to be in there, I want to be in the thick of it. So looking forward to fighting.
Moving on to our world title clashes. Firstly, introducing Fernando Vargas, who, although training for a fight, has stepped up for a world title challenge and coming off a strong win against Wilfredo Vasquez Jr. will challenge Jamie McDonald for the WBA Bantamweight Championship of the World. Wilfredo, a huge opportunity for you and short preparation, but a big chance.
Yes, he's actually glad to get this fight, even though it was short notice. Because since the Wilfredo fight, no one's ever wanted to fight him there in Mexico. So when the opportunity came along, even though it was short notice, he grabbed it. He's always in the gym, he's always training, and he'd like to say thank you to the promoter for having him here.
Thank you, Fernando. Wish you the best of luck on Saturday. An unsung hero, probably, of British boxing, but if you say that enough, you become recognised and noticed. And I feel over the last few months, you have been. Two incredible victories against Comida, and although I wasn't able to be there, my old man lived and breathed every moment of it. Two of his famous, most successful nights and rewarding nights, he tells me, in British boxing. Jamie McDonald, you have become a real star of British boxing now, and I think people now sitting up and noticing just what you're achieving. Like Adam said, British, Commonwealth, European, two-time world champion. And on should be three. But I know how excited you are to box back in the UK, and a tricky test against Vargas on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's a very tricky test, you know. It's coming at short notice. To be fair, I still not even watched him, but I leave that up to my trainer and manager Dave Colwell, and he'll come up with the goods and just tell me what to do. And, you know, I've trained for probably 20 weeks. I should have been fighting in January, you know, so I got in the gym beginning in November. Training's been absolutely fantastic. This is probably the best I've felt going into a fight and the most confident, you know. Normally, you know, when I get to this stage, I'm looking forward to getting weighed in and stuff, but I'm looking forward to, you know, getting in there and putting on a performance. I want to look good, I want to steal the show. Massive occasion, you know, and I think it's my time, you know, to steal the limelight.
I might be wrong, and I know that, you know, since our relationship, it's always been about just get me the biggest fight, get me the most money you can. But since teaming up with Dave Caldwell, there seems to be a real love of boxing as well. I know you've always loved the game, but, you know, enjoying improving and looking to showcase that. And I see something in your eye that tells me that you're really looking forward to Saturday night and going on after this to maybe look at unifying the division or also moving up to the super bantamweight division as well.
Yeah, definitely, you know, all I want now is big fights, you know. I've always thought about having, you know, all the world titles, and obviously when you're starting out you don't believe you're going to get them all, but I do generally believe I'm going to have every single belt. Like say I should have the WBO world title, you know, I'll have to go back and get that, have some other kids, but you know, I've got this fight in front of me. I get this fight out of the way. We look at, you know, Piano fight for the super belt. We've got Lee Atkins, you know, with the IBF world title. So, you know, there's some big fights out there. But, you know, the plan was to move up after the first Comeda fight. You know, but I still make the weight, and as long as this fight's still left at bantamweight, you know, I'm going to stay there. But, you know, I'd love to move up. You know, mix it with Quigsy, Framptons, and, you know, some real big fights.
Wait for that fight, WBA Bantamweight Championship of the World. Moving over to our friend from Philadelphia, Eric Hunter. Sorry it's taken so long to get around to you. this is a big opportunity for you. I'm really looking forward to this fight. I've watched you in interviews in the ring. I think this is a very, very tough fight for Lee Selby. I've seen a lot of your interviews as well, feeling like you've been overlooked for this fight, but we know you and your team are very confident ahead of Saturday.
I'm just saying, fight.
And what sort of fight should we expect from you on Saturday night? We know of your reputation, which I know you smile and laugh at, but tell us what you think of Lee Selby and how you think it will go down.
I don't know, I'm just saying, fight.
Thank you, Eric. I knew we should count on you. Lee.
I thought I was a man of a few words.
I know, I was surprised. I never thought you'd be out, you'd be underspoken. We saw you at the public workout. You looked absolutely sensational. The O2 been kind of like a home for you over the years. You fought Ryan Walsh there. You won the world title then against Gradovic. You won the final eliminator there as well. The performance in Montiel against Montiel in Phoenix, new experience for you. A little bit less buzz in the arena, and I know that Saturday night with 17,000 people in there, you'll be looking to do something very special.
That's it. Other than fighting that woman where I was the O2, it's like I said, home team. I had 3 fights here. I won the Lansdale bout outright. I won my right to fight for the world title. And of course, I won the world title. Now I'm back here making my second defence against a very good fighter, #1 challenger, and he ain't that for no reason. I've been there myself. I was #1 challenger. I had to go in the spot, so obviously he's in the spot to fight me. I'm looking forward to Saturday to put on a good performance.
He wouldn't tell us about the fight to expect and what he brings to the table. We know you've studied him and Chris and Tony and the team have. What do you expect from Eric Hunter on Saturday night?
I'm just here to fight.
But moving on, of course, plenty of talk about unifying the division and all these super fights, but 100% the focus on Eric Hunter on Saturday.
I think the British public might have put him off a bit, looking ahead to like unification fights and bigger fights down the line, but I know Eric Hunter is a very good fighter. It's going to be a tough fight, but I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, Lee. Great English title action on the card as well. Hara Davis against Andy Keats, and one of our young undefeated fighters, Ted Cheeseman, as well, will be starting off the show for us. And of course, Conor Benn, who we introduced to the public yesterday, will be live on Sky Sports box office as well. We're going to have a group shot up here, then we're going to have a head-to-heads for all the individual fights, and then all the guys here and their teams around the room will be available for one-on-ones. Thank you, and we'll see you for the main event press conference tomorrow.
Willingham Hill sponsors Martin vs. Joshua on Sky Sports box office.